What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel, where we talk all things box. Remember to like, subscribe if you're new and everything. And yeah, let's get into this one. So we got on this weekend the long-awaited rematch, and this is a rematch between Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall. The original fight where many felt Jack Catterall was robbed of a victory. I thought he certainly deserved it. I think he quite clearly won that fight. So I was on the side of Jack Catterall got robbed in that fight. And Jack Catterall has made his mission since outboxing and outmaneuvering Josh Taylor, befuddling Josh Taylor in many ways in the first fight. He very clearly won. His movement, his southpaw style, and the awkwardness just gave Josh Taylor fits. Josh Taylor wasn't really able to get into a rhythm, to get into a groove. He was just outboxed and out thought mentally as well in that fight. And Jack Catterall was robbed of that, and also of the chance of getting undisputed. And it is a shame. And I'm one of the people that thought after this fight, well, we need to see an immediate rematch for the sake of Jack Catterall, and because I felt that was a completely wrong decision, but that didn't end up happening immediately. But Jack Catterall has been mentioning it over and over again throughout this long period of 2 years, and he's sort of been looking at Josh Taylor, studying Josh Taylor, campaigning for this rematch. And it's taken so long that for me personally, I felt at certain points over this 2 year period that Jack Catterall should perhaps just give up on the Josh Taylor fight, just forget the Josh Taylor fight, and just move on with your career. Just get on with it, just fight someone else. And, he's had other fights. He hasn't looked that great. For Josh Taylor's part, he's gone on to lose, of course, in his last fight to Teofimo Lopez. And that was an interesting one because I think going into it, I think I might have actually picked Josh Taylor to win that one. I thought Josh Taylor had the right style to win it, but Teofimo Lopez just completely outclassed him, mesmerized him, made him look silly. And Josh Taylor in that Lopez fight did look like there's a few signs of slippage, and he didn't really also look in the best condition in the press conferences. So he looks like, as Carol said, he's had a few drinks, and maybe he's not living a life correctly. Of course, I don't know. I don't know too much about his lifestyle, but he appears to look a little bit worse for wear now in the things where we've seen him, the face offs, all that sort of stuff. He did look like rather mellowed and a little bit ragged. He looked kind of worse for wear. And I think the Lopez fight, his previous fights, have been telling us that this is a guy where I commend his run. I really enjoyed watching his run, to become undisputed. I was at one of the fights, the Regis Prograis fight, and that was a very, very close fight. And that was where we kind of saw the peak of Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez. I remember staying up late watching those fights, and his undisputed run was fantastic. But it just seems like lately there's a bit of slippage here with Josh Taylor, whereas Jack Catterall, he's one of those guys where it's, I don't know, there's always been kind of question marks over exactly sort of how good he is. And his ceiling was fighting Josh Taylor, and he hasn't really fought anyone that I could say is of that level of Josh Taylor since the fight. But I think he's been quite steady and quite consistent in his performances. He hasn't lost a step since. He hasn't lost any fights since then. So he's going to be the man going into this fight with the momentum, with the focus, and he's going to be going into this fight with the chip on his shoulder, because he feels, honestly, even his local government got involved with saying this was a travesty, this was an injustice that he got this, he got robbed like that on the scorecard. So I think of the two, just based on the recent form, based on the styles. Jack Catterall, he still has that very awkward southpaw style. They're both southpaws, but for me personally, I think based on the what I think is the fact that Jack Catterall has got more left in the tank. He seems to be the guy that's lived the life better. He seems to be the guy that's still quite steady. Whereas Taylor, I think if it was prime Taylor, then you could maybe favor Taylor. But Taylor, of the two guys, looks like there's a bit of slippage. His performances haven't been up to par lately. Whereas Catterall, his performances, they haven't been amazing. They haven't been great, but they've been, for me, better than Josh Taylor's. They've been better. He's been getting the results and getting the job done, and I think he still has that awkwardness. And I think he's going to make it very awkward for Josh Taylor in this fight. And for me, I see it probably a little bit similar to the first fight with Josh Taylor having little moments here and there, but Jack Catterall winning the majority of the rounds, making it awkward, ducking low, moving that lateral movement, the sort of shell defense. I just think Jack Catterall is going to be a little bit too fresh for Josh Taylor, and I see him winning this fight on points. I see kind of a similar result to the first fight. I think it's going to be another what should have been that one should have been a clear victory, but I think on this occasion, Jack Catterall is going to get the clear victory. I think he's going to just box to a similar game plan as before. Use your southpaw advantage. Step away as Josh Taylor comes in. Don't let Josh Taylor get any foothold in this fight, and use your awkwardness, and he'll win it. I think for me, Jack Catterall's going to win this one on the scorecards. I think he's just going to be too clever, too awkward, and I think Josh Taylor has slipped in his form, and I think his form's dipped a little bit. So for me, it's going to be a clear Jack Catterall, probably unanimous decision on the scorecards. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below, and until next time, it's MKO Pugilism over and out.